Harley Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look out, buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod, baby. I love
Marco, welcome to the Car Guy Show. Happy Saturday morning to you.
Thank you, George.
Marco and I met at the car show at Shady Lawn, or Chapel Lawn. Shady Lawn.
Right.
Shady Lawn's a golf course, George. Chapel Lawn was run by, anyway, Larry.
Larry, right.
And his beautiful little chicken.
Yeah.
She was a chicken. I told you I wasn't going to say that, T-Rex. Sorry. I messed up. Anyway, and I met several people at this car show, and it was a completely different booth area. It was a row of genuinely talented people. Marco, you make the final straw of a hot rod. You do the thing that no guy can do for himself. You make the interior.
Right, yes, I do.
The seating and the dashboards, the headliner, which means you can probably sew better than my wife.
You know, it's actually a talent. Actually, something you have to. Anybody can really. I can teach you how to sew really quick, but then you have to have the. You know, just the finesse. Yes,
experience.
yes.
Plus,
you gotta love detail.
I'm sure it's acquired too. It's not something that everybody is born with, because it's got to be painstakingly tedious at times. It's got to be hard.
And you gotta love it. You gotta really like it. Money is good, but it's really. You know, when you put the detail on it, people like it.
Well, the money's got to be good. The guy buys a car and he puts $30,000 into it.
Right.
Is he going to complain about a really pretty interior?
Well, you know what?
What's he going to put? What's he going to put a church pew in there?
Right.
You know, it ain't going to work.
George from American Hot Rod. I mean, not George. I'm sorry. Gabe's from American Hot Rods. Gabe's Upholstery in California, San Bernardino. He told me this. Never forget. He's like, well, you get the customers already angry at the car because they already pay for the paint, they already pay for the engine, they already pay for the motor. For the wheels. So when they come to you, they're ready to fight. They don't know why, but they're ready.
Oh yeah, they've already.
This is the last. Yes, so they always want to, try to get the most for.
They've already spent the kid's inheritance.
Exactly. So they're all mad at you already.
and now they got to get the seat fixed.
Exactly.
But you know what? It's the crowning blow. It's the finishing touch to any hot rod. You got to go to this website. I've got it up here on my little computer, and there's just some nifty cars here that you've worked on. How long have you been doing this?
About 12 years. Actually, about 15 on and off.
Yeah.
But I wanted to. This, honestly, God, this was just for. Originally, it was just to do something on my own, because I have always worked for factories and
Oh yeah.
things like that, and I always wanted to just make my own business somehow thrive, but I didn't know what.
Well, I've seen some of your work, and it's absolutely beautiful, and I'm sure you gotta be putting a couple dollars in the bank. It'll be all right. And you know what? You're in a market now that should be a little soft because of the economy, and people are still fixing up their cars. You even do now regular cars.
Yes. Oh yeah, repairs, anything. I'm not. I take anything. I'm not one of those that And you know what, George? It's funny. I really. What I do, I learn it on my own. Nobody ever taught me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
A couple years, when I started this, I really just wanted to do something. I didn't know what, and I started doing it, and that's actually how it went about. But I really didn't think about the money.
Obviously, it's something that you liked, and you're.
I
good
love
at
it. I honestly love it.
Yeah, and you
honestly
jumped into
love
it. I've seen some of the cars, and of course, the real good interiors are made of leather, right?
Yes.
And they're rolled and pleated and
Yes.
tucked and whatever they call it. And
French stitched.
oh yeah,
really
you got to
nice.
put stitches. You got to put seat panels in it.
Yes. Well, the GTO that you have there is actually real ostrich, and that's yes, and that's for a really famous
Is that
lawyer.
illegal?
Yes, it is. Oh yeah, ostrich is legal.
How
yeah.
about alligator? That ain't
Alligator is legal. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
legal. So you made an interior out of ostrich?
Yes. Yes. We killed the ostrich, skinned it, and.
Oh, come on, you plucked it.
That's why I charge a lot, because that's what took so long.
Yeah, you got to pluck an ostrich. I'd have to charge more for that myself. Wow.
It's actually from Africa. These skins.
Wow.
I get most of my skins are from Africa.
Really?
Yes.
All right, I got to ask you. I know I got to ask you, the ostrich.
Mhm.
How much is that, like a square yard?
Well, they don't. They sell it by skin, so it's like $400 to $500 just for this
Per ostrich.
Right, and it's basically a large chicken, which is probably about this table here. It's
I
really
didn't
what
say
it is.
chicken,
Yeah.
T-Rex. He did. I promised I wasn't going to say that nowhere. So it's okay. Yeah, it's a huge chicken, is what it is.
Really, yes. In reality.
$500 for an ostrich skin.
And that's not, I have to do the markup like everybody else
Oh yeah,
does.
plus one ostrich skin isn't going to make a seat.
No, no. And this gentleman, he told me I want everything ostrich, I want everything leather, and I will try to convince him, like the skirts and stuff like that. You can do it out of vinyl, matching the leather. No, I want leather all throughout. And so
Wow.
you have those customers that just want everything perfect. And
Well, you know what? That's a beautiful looking car, and if you spend that kind of dough on a car, why would he pinch pennies with you
yes.
and
yes.
have a crappy interior?
Yes.
Come on, that ain't
yes. No,
come on.
he's one of my best
You
customers.
have to be the miracle worker at the end of the line, 'cause
Right.
like you said, they're already ticked off when they get to you. They
Right.
already spent the kid's inheritance.
Exactly.
For God's sakes, they're already bent. But yeah, and I tell you what, even so, my car, my personal car, if I get a rip in the seat or something bad happens,
Oh, yes.
God forbid I throw a piece of wood in the car like I always do, and then cut the seat apart. I can come and see you, and you can fix it.
Yes. You know what, George? Repairs are harder. If you do it professionally, they're harder than actually replace the whole seat.
Oh, I'll bet.
Because you have to match the stitching perfect. You have to match the vinyl, the leather, the cloth. Some of these clothes are very hard to get because they have to be original
Yeah.
from Detroit or from wherever they come from.
Being
so
on the
there's-
car, they're not leather. Sometimes they're naga hide,
Oh, yeah.
and then you got to
yeah.
go out and slay a naga.
Right, right.
You got to skin a naga.
We've done that before.
Yeah, I bet. Your sewing machine. What did it cost? I gotta know.
Well, the
My
one.
sister's a seamstress, and she had one. It was like a $6,000.
Yeah, no, I don't deal with those. The Yuki ones, they can be really up there, 5,000 to 6,000.
Uh-huh.
But you know what? I went with I have two, Seiko and Yuki or Puff, and to me, Puffs are really good.
Mm-hmm.
But the one that I use, my personal one because I have other people working there with me
Uh-huh.
or another guy working with me, they're the ones, and my wife uses the other one.
Okay.
But mine is the Seiko, which is the same thing as Yuki's and same thing as they're just a little bit cheaper.
Well, that's the way to fly. You know
And
what?
I paid about $2,200 for
Whatever
that one.
gets the job done. Still,
Right.
$2,200 is a lot of money.
Right,
for
and
a
that's
sewing
about
machine.
I want to say 7-8 years ago.
Oh my.
Yeah, so now it's probably in the forward, maybe.
Yeah,
eh,
but they last
35.
forever too, like
Forever.
like a singer.
Yes.
My grandma
yes.
had a singer and gave it to
Oh,
my mother.
sing-
My mother gave it to one of my wives, one of my 7.
Yeah, they used to be made in England. Now they're still good, but not not like as professional. Like
Yeah,
professional.
yeah. And how long does it take to get an ostrich skin?
About a week.
A
yes.
week.
Yes.
Now, is it fresh?
You can still smell the.
Ah, come on! You can smell Africa.
Yes.
Smells like the Nile.
I've never been, but I heard.
Smells like
I
a
don't know.
jungle. No, I've
Yes.
never been either. But for God's sake, I see there's a Mercedes-Benz on your website that
Oh,
you
yes.
put in. I mean, there's just wow.
You
And
should see the
custom
cars that I
furniture
have
you
right
do.
now. Well, I started doing that out of I don't know if you know Fred Bensenes.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Real
Yes. Well, his lawyer contacted me about doing this office chair, one of a kind, and I really don't do furniture. But he's like, Marco, there's a big market on this one, blah blah blah. I ended up doing it, pure leather, everything, just really to the next level. I mean,
Oh,
it was
wow.
really nice.
Next
So I
time
started doing that.
Next time I stop and see him, I got to remember to sit in that chair.
Yes, yes,
I gotta
yes.
stop and
Well,
sit
his
in that chair.
lawyer, not Fred, but the lawyer. Yeah.
the lawyer?
Yeah, yes, yes.
Oh, I'll find out who that is. I'll get in that chair. Oh, you do all motorcycles here?
You know what? Motorcycle seats are one of my biggest passion. That's really, really
I just
what
got
I
another
love doing.
scooter for my car shows when I go around. I might have to have
Oh,
a
we gotta
seat
we
made
gotta
for
do
that.
something beautiful. I tell you.
Yeah, something with a
Some-
skull and crossbones on it or something.
I love
Something-
skulls, by the way. You haven't
something-
been to my office. I love skulls everywhere.
Well, yeah, the office at 9938 Express Drive. Where is that, Express Drive?
Right behind Wet 4.
You're
south
right. You're
of
right by the sketch guy. The guy that does the
by Hoagie, yes.
Yeah, by
yes,
Hoagie,
yes, yes. Oh, we yeah.
Oh,
right
my
next
God.
to it almost, yeah.
Aha.
He's a true artist.
Oh, he is.
That's
He is.
what we always
And
talk
I'm looking
about.
at these interiors. So are you, my friend.
Oh,
Holy
thank
cow.
you. Thank you, George.
That takes a special talent.
You know what? You have to love it. That's the
Oh.
main thing. I always tell everybody, like you have to see the love that we put in it. Some people are just for the money.
You bring your wife in to help pick the fabrics. 'Cause
Yes,
girls are good at that.
yes. Well, I'm better
Really?
than her, which is
Oh.
I don't. Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
buckle a tomato doesn't come flying through here. You're gonna get pasted, pal. Even I can't get away with that. I get away with a lot. The colors and the fabrics. I can't believe ostrich. Have you done
Yes.
one in alligator?
Yes, alligator. I've done stingray.
Stingray.
Stingray is very popular.
What does that gotta smell like?
Fish. It's just like fish.
I know.
Oh yeah,
Like
fish.
the ocean.
Yeah, from Taiwan. That's where Thailand.
Thailand. My God.
That's where we get and some from Mexico, but they're not as good.
Stingray
Yes.
seat covers.
Stingray, you actually use very little of that, and that's more for motorcycle seats. Although I've done cars with it, it's just
Wow.
a little section of it. Very
See
small
now,
section.
all the cats that my wife has had over the 20 years, if I'd have saved them instead of burying them,
Yes.
I'd have a seat cover.
Yes.
Oh God! But you know what? I suppose if I'll tell you what, boys and girls, if you've got the dime, Marco's got the time. He can make it for you.
I'm very cheap. I'm very cheap.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what. If you're doing ostrich, you can't be too cheap.